Rally of United States. Welcome to the grand final of TGM Season 10. We have a champion already, but everything from P2 to P12 can be decided in this historic championship. Speaking of historic, the category is the legendary Group B. The most complicated category to drive was the chosen one to close the Rally Masters. Through the stage 1 we go. Tesla Fighter and Celine Russo have chosen the great star of Group B, the Audi Sport Quartes 1. Incredible beast but hard to master. Test faced his first problems in the end of Sector 2 after losing the control, jumped and knocked into a tree. Moments later, similar scenario, same ending in Sector 3. Celinho went some through scary moments in Sector 1, spinning, and in Sector 2, crashing into a rock. Test ended P10 and Celinho P9. Things weren't easy for SL Daniel. A rock in Sector 3 complicated his life. Same situation for Marcio, but the gripper didn't damage his car that much. Meanwhile with SL Daniel, the communication with his co-driver wasn't going well. The gripper made a mistake on the way twice. Ended P8 in his Ford RS 200, while Marcio ended P6 with his Lancia Delta. I have shown his love for the British manufacturer MG and took his Metro 6 R4 to P5 in a clean stage. Meanwhile, JP wasn't dealing too well with the Lancia Delta in his first kilometers and completely destroyed the front bumper of his Delta in Sector 3. Even with the puncture, the gripper decided to continue and finish it P4. Sadly, no footage from our New Zealander, J-Boy, who took his Ford RS 200 to the podium places. Amazing and clean stage from Cunha in his Peugeot 205, but it wasn't enough to catch the champion. Even making 2 spins in the third sector, Portela managed to finish 4 seconds ahead of Cunha.
In TOLT Valley Sprint Reverse the things looked a little bit more calm, but still, SL Daniel was having some communication issues with his co-driver. Finish it P8. Complicated situation for Celinho and for Marcio, who spinned in the entry of Sector 4.
Esquerda 3, abre longa, ficar no meio sobre 200.
And later, Celinho lost the brakes, hitting the cameraman crane, ending in P7. While Marcio ended P6. No greater issues for the top 5 who made a complete clean stage. Portela manages to win only 3 seconds ahead of JP. Fuller Mountain was the second and last stage on the wet conditions, but somehow the grippers had many more problems than in TOLT Valley. Before those problems, Celinho gave us a great show in Sector 1, and then a great save in Sector 2. But the situation got heavy in Sector 3, with a huge crash. And later, the gripper had a great spin who saved him from greater trouble. Greater trouble who wasn't avoided by SL Daniel, getting a massive crash into a rock. Celinho ended P9 and SL Daniel P7. Between them in the score table of this stage, we had Test destroying fences, scaring some spectators, and flipping his Audi. Who also didn't manage to avoid the fences was Higher. He spun in Sector 2 but ended P6. Who also spun in Sector 2 was Marcio, who easily recovered and reached P5. Cunha in the last sector was in a good performance until he got surprised by an impressive road signal saying "Dangerous road ahead." Informed and furious, the gripper ended P4. Portela was in a good way for another stage winning result until that he fell into a cliff. Exactly in the same place as Celine. JP, doing a clean course, won the third stage.
The night falls in Fury Lake Depot, and driving in the dark with these beasts is a mega challenge. Lights are fundamental in this stage, and Celinho lost the left ones in a 3.
Sobre altos.
Even with 3 crashes in less than a minute,
Abre para alto. Esquerda 4. Fecha para 3. 30. Direita 6 longa. Sobre alto. Possível salto. Para alto. 50.
Celinho still got the illumination and brought the Audi to P9. Who wasn't that lucky with the lights was Marcio. Like Iron in Spain, the gripper went into Christmas mode and even got blinded out in some brief moments. Still, even with a small out curse moment and a flip at the finish line, got into P5. The comms in the RS200 of SL Daniel were still full of issues. The driver wasn't in sync with the co-driver and got the wrong path twice. Again. At this point, a team therapy is recommendable. Meanwhile, Cunha wanted to peel a tree, but that tree only left one door open, the door of his car. Near the end of the sector, Cunha flipped the car, but still ended in P3. One of the great duels of this season came in this stage. Portela won the stage with a gap of only 0.140 seconds ahead of JP. After the Rockton Plains duel, the Fury Lake duel was also decided in a time smaller than a blink of an eye.
Welcome to the final stage of this season, Beaver Creek Trail Forward. This is the big one of the United States Rally, and it was where the grippers suffered the most. SL Daniel was in a complete day-no mood, failing to do 2 hairpins.
Turn very tight hairpin left, don't cut. 120.
And hitting into a bridge fence.
Tightens 3.
The grippers still decided to push and ended up by doing 5 barrel rolls in sector
Upwards
7.
of a crest.
Disaster season ending for the gripper, who was still in fight for the second place of the championship, ended in P9 of the stage. Like SL Daniel, Marcio was in a day-no mood as well. Despite managing to avoid the bridge accident, the gripper had also a huge crash in the same place as SL. Even with a day-no mood, reached up P5. Hire also got catched by the day-no mood and flipped the car in the exact same place as SL Daniel and Marcio. But this wasn't the only situation. In stage 1 also managed to flip his MG. Even with some smaller accidents to the stage, reached P4. Celinho got a scary crash due to a change of elevation in a bifurcation.
Abre longa. Esquerda 6. Sobre salto duplo.
Still, the gripper wanted to end this season in a great style, by doing a perfect 360 in sector 6. And by doing a great drift entry in sector 7. Finish it in P7. Like Celinho, Cunha also got scared in the bifurcation. Later in sector 6, saved his Peugeot from a great crash with 2 wheels on the air. Ended up in P3, not a satisfying result for the gripper, who went all the season fighting for his first title in TGM. The top 2 was synchronized. Both JPs flipped their deltas in the last sector and in the exact same corner. Still, Portela won the stage with an 11 seconds gap ahead of JP, winning his 16th out of 25th existent stages in this season.
And this event marked the end of the 12th championship ever made in the Grip Masters. Portela dominated the US rally from the beginning, followed by JP with a gap of 24 seconds. Cunha closes the podium 1 second away from the 21 minutes. Ayer with his MG ends in P4, and Marcio, for the second time, closes the P5, repeating his best result achieved in TGM. J-Boy gets P6, and opening the 22 minutes times we got Celinho in P7. Tesla Fighter ends in P8 and is followed by SL Daniel, who gets his worst ever result in TGM with a P9. Road Speed 911 closes the classification in P10 with a DNF. Everything is decided on the championship accounts. Cortella, despite being champion already, extends his gap and finishes with 52 points. GP, for the second time ever in TGM, is a runner-up and finishes with 35 points. 1 point only ahead of Cunha, who gets his best ever result in a TGM championship. After the podium places, we have SL Daniel with 26 points, followed by Javoy and Nair, who despite being tied with 24 points, they got the results untied with the sum of all rally times. So Javoy finishes P5 and Nair P6, followed by Marcio Diaz in P7 with 18 points. Tessel Fighter ends in P8 with 11 points, followed by Celinho Russo in P9 with 6 points, and Buldani in P10 with only 4 points. Another tie in the points at the end of the score table. Rodrigo 1329 got P11 and Road Speed 911 got P12 with 0 points, once again untied by the rally times.
This is the end of another championship, the first one of the new era. Make sure to follow our future events by subscribing to our channel and following us in our social media. Thank you for watching and stay tuned with TGM for new content coming soon.